Hello everybody, Brandon Parker, back here with another gameplay video. As I said in my last video, especially on this game, I said that I would continue going with this game back to back, trying to get through this game. And here I'm getting deeper, way deeper into the game, and getting further on. In my last video you saw that I was in a pool of blood, which was pretty sick. I really liked that. It was pretty cool. It can be a little scary, but this is my kind of game. It's very, very, very fun. Best female game ever as a main character in a game. I think this game is, I probably already mentioned it, but more so now. And even with some newer games that have just came out, I think this is still #1 game for 2013. If not #1, at least on the top 10 list for sure. Automatically hits top 10. I love everything about it. There's only one negative thing I will say about this game, and it's the multiplayer. And really, it doesn't really need to be an importance. And if you're just only playing this game just for the multiplayer, then you're mistaken and you're wrong. You should be playing the single player. That's how it is for Call of Duty. Really, Call of Duty single player, it's good, but multiplayer is better than single player. But still, the game is good overall. Like this, it's pretty much the same. It's good overall. If, like I said, if you're just going for one and not the other, the experience is really not going to be really fun for you. You have to enjoy at least the main aspect of what the game is all about, and this game is a single player. Call of Duty, mostly it's multiplayer because it's challenging. Single player, yes, it can be hard, but something about multiplayer, especially on Call of Duty, is just more challenging and funner and more addicting that way. But what also upsets me about Call of Duty, and it's nothing with the developers or what they did, it's mostly the players and people playing the game. They get too obsessive with the game. They just don't stop whining, and they just complain a lot when playing the game. And it's like, grow up. I know, well, like a lot of people that are playing, they're underage. It's like they sound like they're either 13 and under. I can't really tell their age because I don't see them in person. I don't know who they are. Just by their voice and their maturity level. Well, if you're a guy, most guys are immature. And guys usually are immature because it's in their nature and to be more mature than women. But when you're young and you're playing the game, you're crying like a big baby and you're whining. You're being very immature. And you're also young, meaning you're not old enough to even play the game. The game is rated M, meaning must be 17 to play it. Why are you playing the game? It's like, I don't get it. Makes no sense. That's why I don't even care to really record the game single player, multiplayer. I'm kind of tired of Call of Duty. It's the game that everyone just talks about 24/7, and it's like, it's not the only good game that's out there. It's not. There's this game that I'm playing right now. I think it's fun and it's different. It's a third person and it's not just first person. I get tired of first person. A lot of games today, they want to be first person. They want to try and copy Call of Duty, like Deus Ex Human Evolution. That game is tried copying a little bit of what Call of Duty with the gameplay style a little bit, and then it's trying to be third person at the same time, where you kind of like this game right here, where you can get cover and you go shows the characters in third person when you're getting down, crouching, getting cover, going behind walls and stuff. But what draws me from the game and what I don't like about it, as I mentioned in my last video, is because I played a little bit of it because I found it for free on the PlayStation Network. Because if you're PlayStation Net Plus subscriber, it's like $50, and for like the whole year, which is pretty cool because a lot of games come, like some games are for free, and then some games will be like cheap. Like, I got Grand Theft Auto 4. I got that for like $15. I think probably a little bit cheaper. I think it was $10. Yeah, I think it was $10. Can't really remember exactly. It was right around there. It's pretty cheap. Usually used games probably run around $20 to like $30 for used games, so it's a pretty good deal, especially when it's been out for a really long time. And then they're coming out with GTA 5. It was a really good way to promote GTA 5. So I'm a huge fan of Grand Theft Auto. And then I just like the PlayStation overall of where it's going, especially with the PS4. I like that's going to stay doing what it's doing on the PlayStation Network the way that it is right now on the PS3. They're not really going to really change anything, because Microsoft, and here's the thing about Microsoft, I am not a fan of Microsoft whatsoever, and it just grows less and less. My hatred for Microsoft just keeps growing and growing. Yes, I started, and first computer I ever used was Microsoft, but bam, the minute I touched a Mac, everything changed for me. My outlook on computers just changed, like, dramatically. And I'm a computer geek. I love playing video games. I love doing software tutorials, editing, because I'm in film school, so I love doing editing tutorials and stuff like that. Photoshop, different stuff, all that gears around animations, movie filming, all that stuff. And Microsoft, it's easy to understand how to use Microsoft, because it's all that we've touched first, because it's easier to get your hands on a Microsoft computer, because Microsoft doesn't really make their own computers. They make their own operating system, but they don't really make their own computers. They just started barely making their own phone, which is now Windows Phone, and they're on Windows 8 phone. And I really don't care too much with Microsoft anymore these days. I hate the performance of Microsoft, all their operating system. I've always got frustrated with it. You can get viruses very easily, and throughout the years that I've owned anything Microsoft Windows, from Windows 98 all the way on into Windows 8, I've gotten viruses easy. Downloading small stuff that you think you wouldn't even be getting a virus on, somehow a virus gets on there, because too many people nowadays, that's all they want to do is steal your information. And who's the easy target? People who own a Windows computer, a computer that's running Windows. I don't think so. I'm sick and tired of that. I had to throughout the years, I've had to reinstall my operating system several times.
A silent job, a purpose in the Solari. As long as Matthias
It's like,
continues to prove his spiritual connection to the Sun,
it's just
they will fall in
frustrating.
line,
And half
initiation to the
of the virus protection programs that are out there, they don't really work too well. They don't really do their job. Look at McAfee. Yeah, it's probably one of the best out there, but it doesn't really 100% fully do its job, because people can get around it with the Trojan virus, because it's a popular virus for Windows. They get around it. So Microsoft has gotten me so upset with this operating system. Why would I even think about Xbox? Why? Here's the thing, I've been a PlayStation fan for years, since the PS1, and I kind of grew away from Nintendo. Yeah, Nintendo is a great console, and really doesn't really have anything bad to say about Nintendo. It's just, for some reason, I just grew tired, boring. It doesn't really, it's mostly the titles that come out for Nintendo that got me like not wanting to play Nintendo anymore, because Mario, that's all Nintendo really promotes mostly, and it's Mario this, Mario that. And yeah, Mario's cool, and I grew up playing Mario on the first Nintendo, and then the Super Nintendo, and then I played a little bit on Nintendo 64. I didn't own a Nintendo 64, but my cousins had it, so I played it a little bit on it. And mainly the main feature games on Nintendo is Mario and Zelda. Really, they don't really have any other games, because what other games that they have for it is also on Xbox and also on PS3, which actually PlayStation in general. So nowadays, most games that usually used to be on one console are now going to other consoles, like Metal Gear. I'm kind of frustrated with Metal Gear, with the way it's going to Xbox, especially. And it's just started going to Xbox recently with the HD collection, and then the new Metal Gear Rising went to Xbox, and now Xbox One is going to have Metal Gear Solid 5, that was featured in E3. Because I've been checking up on some videos on E3 a little bit, trying to keep up with that. And some of the games I'm anticipating a little bit. I'm anticipating Killzone Shadows Fall. Looks pretty sweet. Really cool game. I really like it. The outlook of it. Now the graphics, they don't really wow me too much because it's kind of similar to the graphics that you see now on the PS3, but other than that, I don't really have anything negative about it so far. What I've seen on the gameplay trailers to it and trailers of it and all that. And then another game which I'm really anticipating for E3 that's was kind of like still in development is Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, and I mentioned that a couple times in my gameplay videos. I'm just really into that game, and I can't wait for the HD collection to come out in September. Looking forward to that. Really want to replay that game again, especially now that I got Elgato Game Capture HD and I'm recording gameplay videos now. So I like to play it all over again. And I remember pretty much a lot. Well, I've kind of replayed it a little bit because I still have my old PS2. It's not really mine, but it's my sister's. And I mentioned that a little bit, that it was my sister's. In a previous video, I mentioned that about the PS2, and that I used to have a very first one that came out when it came out like in 2002, the very fat PS2, because usually when they first come out with the PlayStation consoles, they come out with the fat version, then they start slimming it down all the way down until when they're getting ready to make the new system, they start making it smaller over the time that it's been out. Like now, with the PS3, the first one that I have now is the Slim White Special Edition PS3. Because I didn't get it when it first came out. I was kind of a little bit in a phase where I kind of grew away from gaming a little bit. I kind of didn't want to play games that much anymore. I was kind of growing away from it, and I was getting like bored with gaming. Well, not really bored, it just didn't really spark my interest anymore, and I was like, and then YouTube is starting to get more popular with the gaming stuff, especially more so now in the past couple of years. So I started looking more into other people playing games, and then I started getting a little bit interested again, and now that I've been playing again on a PS3, I'm getting more back into it and getting more excited about some of the games that I've been playing. So I gotta be very stealthy here. I've been doing okay so far. I'm kind of moving a bit slow, which is a good thing, but it's kind of bad in a way because the video is going to be a bit longer. But like I mentioned in my last video, I ain't going to go more than 40 minutes, but I don't want to do too many gameplay videos at the same time either, so that's why I don't want to do them too short. The quicker I can get the game done, the better. Meaning, if I can do it in 40 minutes and get it done faster that way, that'd be a lot better for me. I like to move on, and I don't want to do too many videos to one game. I think it's kind of, I don't know, I don't really want to do that. Do too many short videos. And also, I think it's more work for me than it is anything else. Because I really don't do too much editing. Other than all I do is change the color a little bit, just to enhance it, to bring it out a lot more. And then I just add a watermark, and that's about it. And then I add an intro and an outro, and that's it. That I've already created and have set and ready to go. So I'm really not editing at all. And I'm actually, if you own a Mac and if you ever played with the Screencatcher program ScreenFlow, I've been messing around with that a little bit with the editing of my gameplay videos, because like I said, I'm not really editing too much, so I use that to do my editing. Because if I'm going to do any fancy editing, like making an intro for my videos or whatever, I'll get into Final Cut for that, or After Effects. Anything that requires extensive work, I'll do that. And anything that I'm not really going to edit anything further, which I really don't need Final Cut to do some of that stuff, like place these stuff together where I want them to be, start point, end point. I just will do that in ScreenFlow, because it also makes it easier. I don't have to render. I'm using Final Cut 7 still. I don't want to use Final Cut 10. I hate it. I've given up on it after the first couple of updates. I've given up on it. I'm too disappointed. It's the only Apple thing that I've been disappointed on is Final Cut 10, because I'm a huge fan of Final Cut 7, and they made a huge mistake with that. But Apple can't be perfect all the time. They have to have something where they fail at, because they've been doing really good with a lot of things. They've been impressing me a lot, especially since I've got my Mac, which is back in 2009. I've been using a Mac since 2009, and now I have an iPhone. I just recently got me an iPhone not too long ago, back in like January. The reason why I just barely got me an iPhone is because the phone that I had before, I had to stay with the contract for 2 years, and it couldn't really update it. And then Apple's been making iPhones come out every year pretty much, so it's kind of hard. And so it's kind of really hard to upgrade to the newest one and stay current. And I don't want to like get an older iPhone and then have a new one come out just right after I got it. That's pretty much kind of like what I'm doing with the PlayStation. I just got it like at the end of January, and now they announced like a month after that I got it, the PS4 is going to be coming out during the Christmas season. I'm like, oh crap. I was like, wow. In a way, I looked, and I'm even looking back now, it's like, I'll wait a little bit to get the PS4. And now with E3 going on, they announced that the PS4 is going to be like, I think $300 or $400, somewhere around that price range, which is going to be a lot cheaper than the Xbox One. Because here's the main thing I hate about going back to the Xbox and Microsoft. The main reason why I do not like the Xbox at all, especially more so now, they want to charge you to play your game on your friend's console, Xbox console. You say if I own, okay, say if I want to bring my game and I want to go to my friend's house and play it because I don't feel like carrying my Xbox, which the console looks bigger than usual, and they don't really make slimmer versions of the Xbox. I've never heard of them ever making a slimmer version of the Xbox. They do make special editions of it, like a white, a black, and orange, and other stuff. And you can even customize it, put different skins, because even like Skin It has their own skins. You can go to Skin It, because that's what I did to get my custom iPhone case. I went to skinit.com and I saw that you can create your own skins for your consoles. I really don't want to skin my console. I'm not going to do that, because I really don't need to do that. But I think it's pretty cool if you tried it, if you wanted to skin your console. So really, you don't really need to get it. Like, if I wanted a white console and I wanted to skin it, it'd be pointless to just get the white one. Just get the black PS3 or the default, which is the white on the Xbox 360. But I really don't like where Microsoft is going, because they want to charge you for every little thing, and then you can't really play it on your friends' consoles because you need a, like what they do on PC, a serial number, and it only stays on your account. And you have to log on to your account to play the game. Something kind of like what you do on Steam a little bit, but it's a console. We want CDs because we want to save some space on our consoles, and it's consoles. We want to put CDs in and play the game. you're ruining how we play them and what we're used to with consoles. And yes, we do CDs with
Yes.
PC games, but you can just nowadays on Steam you can just download. And they're trying to do something like that, stay that way, and you can't really, your friends really can't play your game unless they're on your account or you're on your own account, and they're playing like they're you or you're playing as yourself on your account, whatever. I'm kind of frustrated with that. You can't do it on consoles, and also too, the main drawback with the Xbox One, gotta have internet connection at all times. I do not want to play my games on the internet at all times. But hey, if I agree to that, cool. But how am I gonna get internet connection at all times? I'm driving in a car with my parents, my family, whoever, a friend. We're going on a long trip. I'm the passenger. I'm sitting in the back seat, whatever. I got a TV connected, because you can connect TVs to your car. Some cars nowadays, they have their own little flat screen TV that pops out. You want to connect a console to that. On the Xbox, you need an internet connection. I don't think you can get a Wi-Fi in your car. Internet in your car. You have to have a cell phone enabled, Wi-Fi or something. It's gonna be kind of hard to get internet in your car. It may be possible, but I've never tried it, and I think it's kind of stupid. You got a cell phone for that, because why would you want to be browsing the internet, especially if you're driving? Why would you want to be browsing the internet while you're driving? It's pointless to have internet in a car. But you still want your console if you're like a passenger, you're going a long distance, you're bored, it gets you by. But you need an internet connection on an Xbox. I don't get the Xbox, and I'm glad I've never owned an Xbox. I've had cousins who've owned an Xbox, because it's easier to get the Xbox 360. Was way cheaper than the PlayStation. But now it's the opposite. With the Xbox One, it's way expensive. Way more expensive than the PS4. The PS4 is going to be the same price as what the PS3 is now. That's another thing I'm a little bit bummed. I should have waited, but like I said, I'm going to wait a year probably, or at least 6 months before I get the PS4. And then I'll give my PS3 to my sister if she wants it. Or whatever, or sell it, or just keep it. I'll probably just keep it if my sister doesn't want it. But I like where the PlayStation is going. It's staying on the same track it is now, which is a good thing, because I like the track that it's been going since the PS1. And to me, Sony and the PlayStation, especially their PlayStation, is what Apple is with computers. They're just doing things right. They're pleasing their fan base. They're pleasing customers, gamers, and a lot of gamers probably who are fans of the Xbox are probably gonna go to the PlayStation 4. And Xbox has failed time and time with the Xbox One and the conferences to impress, and they have not really impressed me, even with Halo as the #1 game on Xbox. It's a great game. It's probably the best game. That's one of the best games ever, because I played it and it is pretty cool. I like the environments, especially with the very first one, because I never really I played segments of each one, like the first, second, and the third one. I never played the newer ones after that. I just played a little bit online, because I have a friend who actually played it, and I actually owned the first and second one, and then the third one, but I never really got too much into it. I mostly played multiplayer on it, and it's a great game and all, but really, for me, I'm sticking to the console that has more games that I like for it, which is so far has been the PlayStation. Because going back to the Nintendo, there's only been like a couple that I've liked, which is, I've already mentioned them, Mario and Zelda. After that, they don't have like other titles that just stay on the Nintendo really, because they're also like Call of Duty is on Nintendo, and even Metal Gear is also been on Nintendo a couple times, like GameCube, Metal Gear Twin Snakes, whatever, that one. I never really played it. It was on the GameCube. It's really, I don't know. I just don't know I don't know why I just grew away my interest with Nintendo. It's just falling apart. It's just boring. It's not that I have anything negative about the consoles. It's just, like I said, which console has more games that I like? It's the PlayStation. The only thing I'm getting upset about is Metal Gear. Now it's on Xbox, and it used to, even in the beginning when the first PlayStation came out, it used to just be for the PlayStation. Even this game, like I've mentioned a couple times in my past videos, this game, Tomb Raider right here, used to be just for the PlayStation. Now it's for the Xbox. And also for the Wii and all other consoles, the previous ones, the anniversary games to this, which I never played the anniversary edition. The last Tomb Raider game I played was Tomb Raider 3. So I kind of just ignored the other ones because I just didn't get into them.
We're out, but this place is falling apart. I've set up a rendezvous point back across the bridge.
So it's getting really, really intense. Things are blowing up here now. Doing really good. Doing really, really good so far. I really like what I'm doing in this game. Trying to stay on track. Alright, gotta open this up. So yep, so that's my spill on the Xbox. I'm very disappointed, and they have given me another reason to stay on the PlayStation. They should be giving me a reason to leave the PlayStation, because you can call me a PlayStation fanboy, because that's mostly what I've been playing over the years since the first PS1 came out, since like the first year it came out. Because I had the original PS1, because they changed it, made like a slimmer version of it and a slider modified different version of it. But I actually had the original. But the thing that I got upset about the original PlayStation is it just fell apart, like out of nowhere. It just fell apart, and the loader that opened up on it wouldn't work anymore. It just out of nowhere just fell apart and wouldn't turn on, and it couldn't play it anymore. And actually the original PS2, when it came out in 2001, I mean not 2001 but 2002, well right around there, 2001, 2002, it lasted all the way until 2009, and it was unfixable, because I was able to fix it and keep it going starting, but it was just unfixable. It was at the point where it was slowly falling apart, and I couldn't keep it from, it was all dirty and rusty and falling apart. There's no way of reviving it, so I just had to toss it. But I ain't too disappointed, because I have my sister's old skinny PS2 back in 2006 version, the 2006 version of the PS2.
That's what I heard in Japanese before the
a little
crashed.
bit right before the PS3 came out.
Ritual from him
edition.
in his tomb. Why is Matthias so interested in it?
The only negative right now that I have about the PS4 is it reminds me of the PS2. the skinny PS2, the slim PS2, like the layout of the slim PS2. It's like two of them connected together, and to make it look like a fat edition. It looks kind of odd, but the controller looks really sick. But I'm not gonna complain about the design. If it's running the way the PS3 does, and the graphics are the same, if not better, hey, I'm not gonna complain. And the price is pretty much the same. The controller, probably the main feature of it that looks really cool, because it looks different, way different than the design. It doesn't really look like totally different. But I thought the design would have been, because I've looked on the internet just what people were guessing it was gonna look like. I would have thought it would have had like a glass or something. People were getting way too intense with the imagination. They were thinking it was going to be so futuristic that you would have to touch the screen to load it up and turn it on, like it had like a like the screen looked like a glass and you could see through it. I thought that if they actually did that, that would have been pretty sick, but I kind of a tad bit disappointed with the design. But hey, with the way it's going, I'm not going to be too upset about it, because you can have used games, sell your games on GameStops, and I think they're trying to eliminate doing what GameStop is doing, selling used games, because they get the most of their profits from it. Like whatever they sell from the used part of it, they get 100% of the profits. Is that bad for the developers? Yeah, they don't get to make profits out of it and get 100% of the revenue, whatever that they're gonna get out of it. But
let me move about almost freely.
Hey, we get tired of our games. We want to clean out our collection because we want to clean it out. Like CDs, I have a lot of CDs. What am I gonna do with them? Some of them I will sell them. Some of them because I have a lot that I probably should sell. Because nowadays, throw them on your computer, throw them on an external device, and you can save the songs that way. Nowadays, download them on iTunes, put them on an iPod. They're kind of like trying to do that with the consoles a little bit, but just like computers, I do not want my computer, laptop, or desktop computer, I don't want it to be touchscreen. So I don't want my console to be having games to be downloaded onto the console. I want to have a CD. Certain things I want to be done a certain way, and I want it to stay that way. Want my console to be played with the CD, the save space. Some games, it's cool to have some games on the console, downloaded on it, but you want to have the option of just getting the CD just to save space. You should have that option, and PlayStation is still giving you that option.
I just want to go home.
So do I, girl. I've waited years for this moment. I've given.
Alright, so I'm coming up to a point where I'm going to stop the video here in a second.
We're all trapped here.
I want to get it to a good stopping point.
Yeah. Many have given up their
because I don't want to go too far, well, not too far, but I don't want to go over like an hour with this. And I got pretty far so far, I think. Pretty decent, a lot of action with this gameplay video so far. So a lot of good action. Pretty sweet. Looks like it's gonna be.
Oh my God, you're here!
Oh, I thought I was gonna have to get that guy. All right.
It's okay. It's okay.
My friend.
Okay. My weapons.
How are we ever going to get out of here?
We need to leave before he comes back.
Okay, she got her weapons back.
Whitman! Whitman! Where the hell is he?
Alright. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna stop the gameplay video right around here because I'm getting pretty close. Yeah. Then I'm gonna have to fight some more, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop it. here shortly, like right now. I will stop it. So please subscribe, and for more gameplay videos, subscribe to me, especially on this game and other games. I like to get into classic games, some more classic ones after I finish Spyro. That's the first classic game I'm working on. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and see you later. Until next time.